Imagine stepping into a small wooden hut deep in the forest. The door creaks shut behind you. Inside it's dark. Thick smoke hangs in the air, curling slowly along the ceiling. You can barely see. You can barely breathe. The heat presses against your skin, dry, heavy, relentless. There's no chimney, no clear air, just the smell of burning wood and something older, something almost sacred. You sit down on a rough wooden bench. Your eyes sting. Your lungs protest. But no one moves. No one speaks. Because this isn't just a place to wash. This is something else, something ancient, something ritualistic. This is a Savusauna. And once you step inside, you don't experience heat the same way again. The Savusauna, also known as a smoke sauna, was one of the oldest forms of sauna in Northern Europe. Its design was simple, but also strange. There was no chimney, no proper ventilation system. Instead, a large stone stove sat inside the room. Wood was burned directly beneath it for hours. Smoke filled the entire space. Walls, ceiling, benches, everything absorbed it. At first, the room became almost uninhabitable. Dense smoke, low visibility, sharp air. But that was part of the process. Because only after the fire died down, only after the smoke settled, did the space become usable. And what remained was something entirely unique. Once the fire stopped burning, the smoke slowly cleared. Not completely, just enough. What stayed behind was heat. Deep, penetrating heat stored in the massive stones. There were no flames anymore, no active fire, just warmth radiating from every surface. The temperature remained high for hours, sometimes even longer. This created a very different experience from modern saunas. The heat was softer, but heavier, more stable, more enveloping. It didn't hit you in waves. It surrounded you. And it stayed. The smoke wasn't just a side effect. It was essential. As it filled the room, it coated the wood with layers of soot. This had an unexpected benefit. It acted as a natural disinfectant. Bacteria struggled to survive in this environment. The sauna became one of the cleanest places in the household. Even though it looked dark, even though it smelled strong. In a time without modern hygiene, this mattered. A lot. The smoke purified the space. But it also changed how the sauna felt. The air was thick, dry, almost textured. Breathing it required adjustment, and for newcomers, it could feel overwhelming. The Savusauna wasn't only for washing, it played a much larger role in daily life. It was a place for birth. Women often gave birth inside the sauna. It was warm, clean, private. It was also a place for healing. The heat helped relax muscles, ease pain, promote recovery, and in some traditions, it was even used to prepare the dead. Bodies were washed there before burial. This made the Savusauna more than a structure. It became a space tied to life's most important moments. Beginning. End. And everything in between. Using a Savusauna required patience and tolerance. Before entering, you had to wait, sometimes for hours, until the fire had done its work. Once inside, the experience was intense. The heat wrapped around your body. Sweat came quickly. Breathing felt heavier. But over time, your body adjusted. You relaxed. Your muscles loosened. Your mind slowed. People would sit quietly. Or speak softly. Throwing small amounts of water onto the hot stones created bursts of steam. The heat would spike suddenly. Then, settle again. It was a rhythm. A cycle of discomfort and release. Despite its benefits, the Savusauna wasn't without danger. Smoke inhalation was a real risk. Entering too early, before the air cleared, could be harmful, even deadly. The fire itself posed another threat. Without proper control, it could spread. Wooden structures, dry interiors, everything was flammable. And because the process required long heating times, it demanded attention, experience, care. This wasn't something you rushed. Mistakes could have serious consequences. Unlike modern saunas, the Savusauna was often located away from the main house, near forests, close to water. This separation added to its atmosphere. It felt removed, quiet, isolated. Inside, the dim light and darkened walls created a sense of stillness. Time seemed slower. The outside world felt distant, and in that space, people weren't distracted. There were no tools, no work, no noise, just heat, breath, and silence. The Savusauna walked a fine line. For some, it was deeply relaxing. For others, it was too much. The heat, the air, the intensity, it could become overwhelming quickly, especially for those unfamiliar with it. Knowing when to step out mattered. Listening to your body mattered, because staying too long could lead to dizziness, exhaustion, even collapse. Like many things in the medieval world, it demanded awareness, respect, and restraint. When the session ended, the contrast was immediate. Stepping outside, cool air hit your skin, sharp, refreshing. Your body, overheated moments ago, began to calm. Breathing became easier. The world felt clearer. Some would rinse with cold water, others would simply sit, recover. The experience didn't end inside the sauna, it extended beyond it. A full cycle. Heat, release, stillness. At first glance, the Savusauna seems simple. A wooden hut, a fire, some stones. But the reality was more complex. It required knowledge, timing, control. Too much heat, and it became unbearable. Too little, and it lost its purpose. Too much smoke, and it became dangerous. Too little, and it lost its character. What looked primitive was actually precise, refined over generations.
So why did people
continue using the Savusauna for centuries? Because it worked. It cleaned the body, relaxed the mind, supported health. But more than that, it created a space, a pause, in a life that was often hard, demanding, unpredictable. The sauna offered something rare: stillness, warmth, control. In a world where those things weren't guaranteed. Yet even the quiet ritual of the Savusauna, its heat, its smoke, its silence, was only one part of life in the medieval North. Because outside those dark wooden walls, another challenge waited. Long winters, frozen, endless nights that tested human endurance. In the next episode, we'll uncover how people survived months of darkness and why winter was often more dangerous than war itself.